Yo, what's up guys? Nathan or Feeds here. Welcome back to another video. Last week I looked at trainer reruns and found that, at least in my opinion, if you were using trainer reruns to level up Pokemon at the same time as making money, they are no longer really worth it after the strings nerf. Due to the Christmas event, I actually hadn't done a gym rerun in quite a long time, but when I did try and do one, there was a bug in the game where when you exploded with Torkoal, you and your other party member would die, and it would cause a bug where if both people on your team on the field died, you weren't able to continue the battle unless you logged out and logged back in. Thankfully, they fixed that issue. It's been a couple weeks since that issue's been fixed, and a lot of people are back to doing gym reruns and saying that it doesn't feel good anymore. And I would have to agree that gym reruns and pretty much everything in the game in general doesn't really feel as good with the strings nerf, but does that make gym reruns not worth it anymore? Well, let's find out. So the two gym reruns I decided to try and sort of compare was first the JinxedBoon Gym Rerun, where you have an open party slot to level up a Pokemon. Now, that does mean you need to sit through the plus EXP dialogue every time you kill an opposing Pokemon. The gym rerun itself is also a little inconsistent, so because of that, I removed a few gyms from the run to make it a bit more consistent, and I was able to hit 26 gyms on my run. Now, I think the average person will be able to hit 25, 26 if you're a bit lucky with some RNG. That being said, given the fact that I was on an amulet coin, and amulet coins costed around 27k, I made 325k in profit and got just under 400k XP at 389k. The second gym rerun I tried was the Xanarchy Gym Rerun, and I believe this is like an older variation of his gym rerun. I did this gym rerun for two main reasons. The first one being it does not have an empty party slot, which means that you save a lot of time compared to the last gym rerun where you needed to skip all the dialogue for gaining EXP. The second reason being this is the gym rerun that I've done the most out of all the other gym rerun strategies in PokeMMO. This means I am the most familiar with this run, which means I would be able to complete a lot more gyms than if I had started a new route that I needed to learn. Despite this, I actually only completed 2 more gyms than the JinxedBoon Gym Rerun. And if you are not familiar with the run, I would just have to guess you would probably do even less. Not only does this gym rerun team cost around 2 million Pokeyen for breeding the team and the items, considering I'm only able to personally do 2 more gyms compared to the last one, this one is definitely not worth it anymore. You are getting an extra 24k Pokeyen on average per run, but I think the 400k XP is a lot more worth it, especially if you don't have that much time to play the game every day or every week or whatever. This is with donator status, mind you. Without donator status, you would have to subtract around 18k and also about 300k XP total you would gain from the JinxedBoon Gym Rerun. I would say if you're doing a gym rerun that does not have an open party slot, 1 or 2 depending on which one, to level up your Pokemon, donator status is definitely not worth it solely for the 5% money gain. But if you are doing gym reruns that allow for EXP gain, if you EXP train your Pokemon through hordes, if you shiny hunt, if you really just play the game for more than a few hours a week, I would honestly recommend donator status for sure. That being said, do I think gym reruns are still worth it? I do think gym reruns are worth it, especially the ones that allow you to gain EXP and level up your Pokemon at the same time. I do recommend you berry farm on top of doing gym reruns every day just to maximize your money making. I will have a berry farming guide out soon, specifically Lepa berries, but there are already a ton of tutorials on YouTube if you don't want to wait for mine. That's it for today's video on if gym reruns are still worth it. If you enjoyed, be sure to like the video, comment if you have any questions, and subscribe for more content like this. Peace, guys.